and the stables at the far end of the main street, where few would go. Behind them, the fenced-in stable yard that was quietly avoided by everyone. Most of our animals had died some while back, except for a couple of old goats who'd go soon enough, and the chickens, which roamed everywhere. My hand pressed against the window frame as I looked out, its flaky white paint a contrast to the pearly pink of my nails, the polish beginning to chip. I'd need to redo that before it drew notice. For now, though, I rested my forehead against the cool glass, my breath fogging it up so I had to keep shifting for a clearer view. My eyes tracked the stranger, riding in on a horse, which meant not only had the rider passed the viral screening, drops of their blood taken and mixed with special chemicals to check they were clear, the animal must have as well. The horse's huge clumping hooves struck regular and slow against the hard-packed ground. The stranger held the reins loose in one hand and wore a wide-brimmed hat tilted low, body swamped by a long travel coat. There was a gun, a long one with a worn hilt, strapped across the horse's flank. Its visibility alone suggested ammunition, something always in short supply, and an ability to use it. The shadows of rider and horse stretched long before them, a steady walk over the dusty ground. I held my breath so as not to fog the glass further, and moved to the next pane for a better view. "Chelsea, come away." The order from behind me was gruff and disinterested. By now I'd learned to judge the nuances of his voice, and knew there was no real anger in it, so I stayed where I was. "It's a rider," I said. "A stranger." "So?" "So, the last supply run was months ago, and they outright said they wasn't coming back, not till they was paid up, and it's been a right long time since we saw anyone else come in," I said, staring down at the street. "Going on a year now, by my reckoning. This ain't a delivery. I wonder why he's here." "It's no business of yours. Stay away. Strangers are dangerous." "Then why do we let them in?" He grunted dismissively. He was working, his mind on other things. He didn't want to talk about trade and politics and economics, not with a girl like me who couldn't be expected to understand. Not that he'd ever tried me. Despite my youth and my gender, I didn't consider myself a fool. Except politics wasn't what I was here for. "I said come away." This time there was a real gruffness, and I knew better than to refuse. "Here, girl. Now." I repressed a sigh and pushed a playful smile to the corners of my mouth before turning, my eyelids lowered and eyes peeking coyly through. I moved with care, consideration in each step. I had perfected a smooth glide which hinted at sensuality without being overtly sexual, sweet but suggestive, and I carried myself in such a way always. Granger liked innocent, liked young. Not awful young, not baby child young, only youthful. I was 16, and figured I had another 3 or 4 years before he grew tired of me. The last girl was 23 when he moved her out. She was a farmer's wife now, so I'd been told. He was behind his desk, a long wooden thing with carvings around the edges and scratches across the top, and he looked as gruff as he sounded. He had a full beard, peppered with grey, and an old black turning green tattoo beneath the hair on one forearm, a flying eagle bird, with a rifle clutched in its talons and the word airborne scrolled underneath. Old books sat in front of him, pulled from the shelves at his back. I wasn't supposed to be interested in them. They were for the likes of Granger, whose business it was leading and thinking and making decisions for all of us. But I'd had some learning in our little schoolroom before Mama got sick and I had to stop, so I could make out a few words. We'd had no books to practice on, but I knew the basics. Well, some of them. Granger did have books, shelves of them, was maybe the only one in Darkwater who did. Sometimes, when he didn't need me and I was forbidden to go into town, I'd take them down and sit in the soft armchair in his study and sound out the bigger, less familiar words in my head. He'd found me doing it more than once. I said I liked to look at the letters and wonder what amazing things the books said, the wondrous messages they might impart to those wiser than me who could still properly read. And then I'd turn the pages and make up stories, 'cause if I could make him laugh, that'd keep him in.